anytime you get a win in the Big 12, it's a good win. So really happy to come in here. I think the last time Houston played us, we were 3-0 in league play, and they didn't get after us. And so we guessed that they would really come after us early tonight, and I thought they really created tempo in this game with their press, which was both good and bad for us. Certainly, it got us some easy baskets in transition, but also sped us up. We had some turnovers, which I think kept it close there in the first half. But I thought for the most part we worked for good shots. We'll keep working on singles instead of home runs all the time, and I think that'll cut down on a lot of our turnovers. But ultimately, really proud of our effort to, no matter who was in the game. You guys got the first look at our 2-3 zone in extended minutes, and there was good and bad to it, but I actually thought it was really good for us because it kept them out of their comfortable high ball screen, stagger, pull-up game that was bothering us some in the first half. They weren't making all their shots, but I thought they were getting to spots that they're really comfortable in, and I thought playing them zone, I'm sure they were surprised that we played zone. We would have been as surprised if they played zone.
Coach, you just mentioned one of the biggest accomplishments that teams have when they come in to play U of H is overcoming the press early. Just talk about that. And you mentioned the turnovers. Is this the largest amount you all have had this season?
Yes, this is definitely the highest. And I think when you turn it over 26 times, but you still get 59 shots off, that's pretty good. That means that the pace is really high. There's a lot of possessions in the game because normally if you have 26 points or 26 turnovers, you don't win by 23 points. Okay, but I also think that when we took care of the ball, we got to really, really good shots, whether they were layups, kick out threes, just a lot of stuff in transition. So we turned it over, but we also got to really good shots and 15 offensive rebounds against a really athletic team. We got the ball back, even though they didn't always turn into points. They also they can be backbreakers. You play great defense, you give up an offensive rebound, you get to reset and get to something else. So definitely never like turning the ball over 26 times, but am proud of how we shot it when we didn't turn it over.
You mentioned the rebounds. I mean, 52 rebounds for y'all. That's quite a few. Asia keeps bringing that feistiness every game and all that. I guess what got into you today that gave you 52 rebounds?
I think some of it was the nature defensively. They're kamikaze, and I mean that in the most positive way. But I think when you get them in rotations, then you've got to commit to going and getting them. But certainly it puts you in position where when they have to rotate, you got numbers on the backside. And so I thought, one, keeping them pretty fresh and not really overplaying anyone today. I thought Bugs was really good on the glass. Asia was good on the glass. She's always good for one, getting her own, missing a layup and getting it back and putting it in to pad her stats. But, I thought, Yaya, that was really important for us with her because when we play small at the three, we tend to play bigger at the three with Bella and Asia. But when we go to Yaya, I think that was really awesome to see her go get extra possessions for us. I thought she was really solid all night.
I know y'all have the dream team in practice to give y'all defensive looks, but were y'all oddly comfortable in the 2-3 zone given how y'all had to attack the zones over the last couple of years?
Yeah. We have not spent a lot of practice time working on our 2-3. We obviously play 2-3 baseline out of bounds, so we're going to play it 4 or 5 possessions a game, depending on how many times the ball goes out on the baseline. But I thought it was a good decision by Tony, just to we were really bothered by their high ball screen mainly, like that middle channel of the floor, and are we getting under the screen, are we going over the screen, and I think it took them out of that action, which they're really, really comfortable in. And they made some shots late, but I thought through those key stretches where we extended the lead, they didn't make a lot of shots. And so as we've seen, there's rhythm in man offense. There's rhythm in catch and shoot shots against man that you don't necessarily get in a zone. And so it definitely, it was a good thing. I mean, I know we had a nice lead at half, but I think we pushed it out partially as a result, of playing the zone, getting long rebounds because they're shooting long shots, long rebounds, getting in transition and making plays in transition. So I thought that was a lot of them. They took a lot more threes than they normally take.
Coach, what are your thoughts on how the newcomers have done so far in Big 12 play?
We've got so many newcomers. It's I think we're settling in. I think we've had players have big. I would say Dre's probably been our most consistent scorer in terms of newcomers for our team. But I think Jada has obviously been a catalyst for us. I thought she was really good early in this game, getting downhill and getting us going, and then setting the table as the game went along rather than necessarily having tons and tons of shots. Yaya's had some huge games for us. Houston probably does the best job of any team in our league at taking her right-hand drive away. I mean, they're really quick, and they do a really good job making her play back to her left. They are really, really good at it because she's hard to keep from the front of the rim. But I thought she did a good job today of simplifying. She made some threes, which she's a good shooter. It's like the hard part about newcomers is half our team is newcomers. So it's like if I go down one by one, we'll be here all day. But they're just a big part of who we are.
You all shot the ball a little bit better today and better at the free throw line, all that fun stuff. How does a performance like today and some of those metrics set you up for kind of the second half of Big 12 play?
Hopefully really well. I mean, I thought we looked confident. I didn't see a lot of panic when we turned it over. I know we got a lead and then gave up a few baskets, and I think we've made a really concerted effort as a staff to stay super positive with this group. They're a group that needs a lot of positive reinforcement, and they will take coaching, but gently a lot of times, and so trying to be more gentle in our approach to getting them to understand reads and expectations and game prep. Even today our pre-game talk was less intensive, I would say, and more big picture, like be the best version of us, and play hard and play together, and I think that's it really hit home to me, like watching us play them the last time, because I thought for 3 quarters the last time it's about as unselfish a basketball as I've seen in coaching in 20 years, and we were sharing it, we were moving it, everybody was scoring, everyone, we shot it better at home than we did today, and they weren't as aggressive with their press. I think they pressed us 3 times the first game, and then they just fully took it off and played us soft, and they didn't do anything soft today. So, but it was good to see that Baylor team back out there today.
Thanks, Coach. Oh, you got one more? Sorry.
How much of a lift was Jada in that first quarter being aggressive, and how did that kind of set the tone, I guess, early on?
Yeah, I thought, when they were denying, first off, credit to Bugs, because I thought sometimes being the one that takes the ball out of bounds is the hardest job against the press. You think it's people getting open, but it's the one having to deliver the ball on time and on target against really athletic guards. And I thought she did a really good job. In fact, I know I look at the stats and see 3 turnovers, but one of them was right there at the end on a one person cut one way and type of situation. And so I thought she did a good job. I thought Jada did a good job of getting the ball and turning it up. One of the things I was talking to her about is there were times when she attacked so well for herself, but learning to be like a better table setter, because she was sometimes like getting by. I was trying to explain to her, like, hey, when you get by that first level, you had a defender on the ball, you have a defender on Sarah up with you. So if you get by yours, it's 3-on-2. It's you, Dre, and Asia against Dre and Asia's defenders, and she was wanting to give it up early and make Dre the playmaker. Like, be the playmaker. Let her fill. Let Dre be the finisher. Let Asia be finishers versus throwing it ahead. Now it's maybe 2-on-1. but it's our 4 and 5, and so really I thought that is growth opportunity for us. Like, when do we give it up? When do we keep it? You know, it's not that Dre isn't a capable ball handler, but she's a better finisher, you know, especially like in transition, to give it up and then get it back. So I thought Jada just getting downhill and being tough around the rim, getting some baskets around the rim was really key for us.